I'm not this dirty fighter that you think I am, bro. The thing is it's mental gymnastics from you because I'm the only one that can actually beat you.
Like I said, it's just to show how we both fight. Unfortunately, like once I released my footage of how I fight, and you could see the humongous difference.
Them's fighting words. VR.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, VR children of all ages, we are back, and RSVR proudly brings to you the first ever Ringside VR Press Conference for the upcoming Zenith versus CardioCam Battle of the Styles. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Supah M, and I'm proud to introduce a wonderful cast of co-hosts and guests we've got lined up for y'all. First up, none other than my partner, the homie, Supah Solly. I'm gonna call him Super Solly for this one because he's a super awesome guy. But Solly is in the building. Solly, say what's up to the people, man.
What's up, everyone? It's good to be here. Incredibly excited. Great group of guys here. This is just going to be a fun time.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got a special guest for y'all, a friend of the stream and a fighter who's appeared on our call, one of our cards, Aura, the assassin, ready to do what he do. Ladies and gentlemen, check out his site. He's been doing some dope interviews. Him and Zenith had a great interview. Y'all should definitely check that out. And without further ado, as we bring to you the main attractions for the evening. Right, starting up first, I'm gonna have to start with the challenger. First up, new friend to the stream, old friend to the crew, CardioCam. CardioCam, tell the fam what it do. Tell the fam what it do.
What's up, you guys? I'm glad to be here. Very,
Nice,
very
nice.
grateful. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, look, we glad to have you for sure. And definitely last but not least, we got the fan favorite on the channel, the man who's delivered well over a great thousands of views worth of blows. I can't thank him enough. Zenith for coming through. Zenith, say what's up to the people, bro.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? When Supah and Solly call you, you answer it. When they got an event going, you got to answer it.
I love to hear it. I love to hear it. And I'm glad for everybody to be able to be in the room tonight. And I'm sure everyone's really excited to kind of get to this press conference, kind of find out why we have this fight. So I just want to give a shout out to the fans, the community who's helped keep us going and made this possible. And I definitely want to give a shout out to everyone here on this call, because without you guys, this wouldn't have been possible. So to give everybody a little bit of a heads up how we're going to do this. So we got a pretty awesome fight coming up between Zenith and CardioCam, and we brought the pressers here to kind of answer some heated questions to start things off. So how we're going to do this kind of open forum style. Solly will kick things off with the questioning, and we're going to open up a topic of conversation to the both of y'all. Now, please pardon my puns, but please don't pull any punches on this. We want to hear you guys speak from the heart. We know that this whole card is called Battle of the Styles, specifically because it's more of a battle of ideologies in VR, and we want to get that out. So without further ado, Solly, go ahead and start us off with some of these questions.
Thank you, Supah. So I'm going to say, let's start right here. What is the disagreement that you have with your opponent? Zenith, I'm going to give this open to you first as the champion.
The disagreement I have with cardio, man, there's so much. But the main thing that I have is when he gets, accused of how he fights, he likes to say that everybody does it. Everybody. And he likes to just put my name out there. And I simply just disprove it every single time. And so it got to a
He's
point
never
where I'm like,
disproved it. He's never disproved it.
it got to a point where I'm like, you know what? The next time we fight, it's going to be on webcam. That's the only we'll fight. So we can just prove, either you're right or I'm right. Unfortunately for my man Cardio here, he blew his load a little too fast, and two different footages of him fighting came out, and it was not pretty. It was not pretty. And I'm like, you know what? We don't need to do this anymore. But for Supah, for Solly, I'm still gonna do it.
Oh, all right. Now, Cam, do you have any response to that?
Oh, I have a pretty awesome response, and it's to multiple things you said. Uh, for anybody that wants backstory, when I first got this game a few months ago, Zenith used to beat the shit out of me every single day. Probably probably close to 100 times, back to back to back to back. Now he did give me a few pointers, but there's things that I picked up during fighting him that allowed me to create my own style, as well as fighting with Japanese players. And it is a way of flicking the controllers and whipping and snapping them that every high level player uses. Now, don't get me wrong. I will give Zenith the benefit of the doubt and say that I do take it to the next level, but I do not do it really in an exploitative way. The footage that he gathered of me was just IRL footage in real life, during a match where I was fighting a Hammer Fister, and Hammer Fister knew what I was doing, but there's no in-game footage to give context to it. The only footage that he's posted in real life after he's challenged me to fight on webcam, which I've obliged and still haven't gotten yet. Hopefully, April 13th, it goes through. But the only footage that he's given in real life is put side by side with in-game footage. None of the footage that I posted has any in-game footage, so you can't really see what's going on. You're just forced to make assumptions when
That's the
you
point,
know.
Cardio. That's the point. You like to tell people there's only one like footage of you spamming with Joe. You've said that 100 times, but there's not one. There's more, and you didn't just fight Joe. And they're both
Yeah.
identical. They are both identical, and we don't need in-game footage. I have the in-game footage from the tournament, and I can see it. The way you fight in IRL
Mhm.
matches your in-game footage.
Well, the thing
Show
is
me
that.
anywhere in my 50 minutes of fighting, and I told Thean
Mhm.
and anybody else if the way I fought in there is completely different how I usually fight, pointed out, and you and I are not the same with how we fight. My hands don't turn this way and bring him down. I already proved that, and I showed it the footage of you teaching people this meta. It's okay, Cardio. I don't care about your playstyle. I don't care. What I find weird and funny is you lie about it and you try and say that everybody does it. Zenith gives me a couple of pointers. Listen, everything I tell people how I fight is exactly how I fight. There's nothing I'm hiding. And I've seen that footage too of you telling Jay Baca, oh, the high level players, they don't tell you this, but they do this. I'm like there's some Illuminati group in EOC that's keeping all the secrets.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's
Mhm.
I'm gonna cut in here because for the fans who don't know, this is why this is called the Battle of the Styles, right? We've had our individual interviews and we've given you both a chance to kind of explain that philosophy. But like, I gotta jump in and ask here for a bit, maybe play a little bit of devil's advocate. Um, Cam, you have a position where you say Zenith has taught you a few of these moves, and you've just kind of evolved what you've learned, kind of utilizing gameplay mechanics. Um, do you really feel that there might be like a higher level echelon of folks who are gatekeeping? And I'll bring it back to you, Zenith. I mean, is there some secret tech out there that is higher level, or is there any gatekeeping going on?
Well, it's not necessarily that anybody's keeping the information away from anybody. Um, what I meant by that when I say high level players is Zenith, River Styx, and the Japanese dudes. All of the Japanese dudes hammer fist. All of the Japanese dudes utilize this motion.
Hmm.
Zenith utilizes this motion. All of them do that. It's the way that the glove sits on the controller in the game is it's a whip. It's not realistic at all. Another thing to add to your point, Zenith, is I can point out multiple times in that video where you hook like this. A hook doesn't work like that. Now I know you posted a 7-minute video debunking a 30-second video that I made, which I mean it's not even that big of a deal. I don't care with how you fight either. But the thing is that we all utilize the of the controller, and it's not realistic. I've never claimed to fight realistically. The thing
Can
is
you
is
point
is
it out?
that my
Point it
words are
out.
twisted around as if as if I'm doing. And the thing is like I do take it to the next level when it comes to the flicking, but at the same time, dude, for you to sit here and say that you don't whip your controllers and that you don't at least utilize a little bit of the wrist flick is asinine. And it's not like every single one of the Japanese players will happily admit that they hammer fist. I fought Hisanaga and Durain twice today. Both of them hammer fist. Mama Bio and River Stage utilize the same motion where they hold their hands up high like this and go like this. And the thing about the twisting and the whipping, it is what it is. You know, like, this is virtual reality. I can completely and totally understand and respect when somebody wants to turn this into a realistic boxing simulator. But when you have your hands like this, the only way for you to throw a jab or throw a punch with either one of your arms is to go downwards. A jab comes from the shoulder. A straight comes from the shoulder. A lot of hook comes from the rotational force from the hips. You know, it's not arm movements. And that's the thing about EOC, is EOC is almost entirely hand fighting due to the fact that the only thing being tracked by the headset is the controllers. You can't really, there's no way of tracking the actual bodily force that needs to be put into a punch. You know, it's something that all of the Japanese players do, which are the high level players. Zenith does, River Styx does it. And the thing is like, I don't want to hurt your feelings, dude, but I don't think you really might not know much about real life boxing if you think that the way that you fight is realistic at all, because it's not.
Hold on, okay, Zenith, you got the floor, bro. You got the
Is
stick.
is he done?
Like,
Done
if
talking?
you hold your arms like this, there is no way for you to really use your shoulders. The only way for you to throw a punch is to go downwards like that.
All right,
And
look,
for you to say that you don't flick your wrist, bro,
we hear
it's
you, Cam.
asinine, bro.
We hear you, Zenith. We got to hear some words from you now. Floor is yours, my friend.
So let me clear this up real quick.
Okay.
This man is talking about having your hands up here. Bro, hold a mirror and look at yourself, because you're the only person that does it.
I never said I was. Like, I never said I didn't.
But the problem, Cardio, is the fact that you just can't accept that I don't fight like you. The footage is out there. You could put the 2 pieces of footage of you fighting and the 150-minute video of me fighting, and they're not the same. That is the only argument I have, is just admit that you have a play style, which is fine. I admit that in the interview with Solly already that this game is never going to be good enough for actual boxing, and this game is never going to be good enough for even shadow boxing, because in shadow boxing the target is not moving. So it's just never going to look pretty. And now you keep talking about this flick, man. Here, I got the controller from our interview earlier. All right. I'm going to show it to you real quick. You want to, because you know you're a professional boxer now. When you demonstrated the hook going like this, you're right, man. Just like that. But you can't do that with the controller, because if you have it like this with the controller in the game, the glove is going to look funny. You have to twist it down for the knuckles to meet the person's face. It's the 2 knuckles that have to meet your opponent. All right. So yeah. So when I swing, it's tilted down a little bit for the in-game knuckles to meet the person's face. But there is no footage you will ever see of me doing what you do when you turn your wrist completely like this and just on top of the person's head. I would love to see you fight someone like that.
I never said that you drop it on top of the head. I say you utilize this motion. This motion. It's a twist. It goes to the side of the head, and it doesn't land with the knuckles, bro. It lands with the heel of the hand, which is an illegal strike in boxing. Boxing, the only thing that lands is the knuckles, bro. There's no turning of them.
Really?
When you throw a straight punch, you throw like this. When you throw a hook, you go like that. There is no karate chop heel of the hand strikes. It's completely and totally illegal. When you drop your hands like this, that is illegal.
Cardio.
When you hold your hands that high, you are unable to utilize your
Cardio.
shoulders.
You're the only person that I hold my hands up much higher because you're the only player that I have to protect the top of my head because fighting you, because you can't fight as sim as possible in order to beat me. You have to phase through me, hit the back of my head. There's footage
I
out
have
there.
a
Hey, you hit the
30
players in the
second
back of the head
video that I
and you
posted
drop
that
it.
proves you do that. That you
All you
supposedly
showed
debunked with a
was
7-minute video.
See, you like to say 7-minute video like it's supposed to like show that I put too much effort into it. But let me help
You
you out a little
did.
bit, Cardio. When you respond to a video, you're supposed to put pauses and actually respond to the video. So
But the
I
thing
had to
is, dude, is
slow
like
down.
you didn't.
There
You
is no
just you
there
just
is
made
no
a
thing. But
7-minute
that's
video,
what you hold
which
on
is
to.
just
That is
you
what you hold on
coming
to.
up with mental gymnastics to disguise the fact that you held your hands like this.
That's original,
and went
Cardio.
like
Where'd you
this,
get that?
and then you
All
hooked.
right,
Another
and
thing
went
that you
this.
I'm
like
gonna
to
interrupt
do
here
is
for
when
a quick
someone
second.
starts talking to you.
Fellas, calm down. I love the energy. I love the vibe. Look, this is what makes the fight so great. That like, there are two different philosophies here, right? And both you guys are very passionate about the stance that you have on it, and we all agree. VR is not in a place where realism can be used with just what's on there. So we all have to make advantages and kind of changes to the strategy. And so I hear that there's two different kind of style points here, right? And so
Actually, I have I have a little thoughts because I know someone's
yeah.
had an episode about this in their from their own VR podcast. So shout out to Aura. And I actually want to throw the question to you. How would you, as a little bit of an unbiased, outsider in this fight, did you define sportsmanship and fair play in a game like EOC? Right, like so we're trying to sanction this fight a little bit, right? As ringside, we're both getting the fighting footage of the in game, but we're also getting the real life footage just to see that like no one's doing any funny business. Aside from that, right? Like, what rules would you impose on a match just to be like, let's have this be fair?
Well, this is also why I've thought of the idea in the past to start my own tournaments, but I've just never pulled the trigger on it because I know people won't want to join my style of tournaments because if I was to run a tournament or a pay-per-view event or whatever it may be, there would be no kind of J block, Hulk smashes, none of that. There'd be no type of hammer fisting at all. It'd be straight. You're not doing that. You're not entering my tournament. That's just the way I see it. I'm like I know that people have their play styles, but I don't like to see that kind of stuff. And I know that if you're a boxing fan, like whenever I was getting into VR, if I would have seen like Pitt, if anybody knows Pitt out there, the VR boxing teacher.
Mm-hmm.
If I would have seen him fighting the way that I see people fight nowadays, like in EOC, I wouldn't have got thrilled to fight. I wouldn't have got into VR boxing at all. I would have just stayed a wrestling fan. So that's just my kind of standpoint on it. Of people like me would have never got into it, and obviously the people that aren't like straight boxing fanatics, they don't really care about that. So they just want to get in, they just want to have a good time, they want to play the game, they want to fight however they want to fight, whatever gets them the win, and I respect that. But at the same time, I'm personally not going to play against people that do that, but then you end up getting called a duck. So it's like you try to the people tell you to just stay in your own lane and do what you want to do, fight your own style, fight the kind of people that are close to you, but whenever you do that, you're a duck. So it's like there's never winning. But that's personally what I would do. I would just do straight legit like boxing rules, what you see in a legit boxing ring, as much as you can do it. Like none of the Joe Mama like hand in the head, none of that. Straight like you either Philly shell. I would allow the cross because I cross, I Philly shell.
Sure. Big fan
I
of it.
switch. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's big, huge fan.
Yeah, I personally like the cross, so that would be allowed. But you're not gonna fight like a hermit crab or anything like that.
Well, that dovetails into I guess the next logical part where you kind of go here, Solly. So I'll give the floor quickly for both of the challengers, for the competitors here. State just purely, what is your philosophy on VR fighting, and how does that dovetail into the rules of fairness going into this match? And I know we initially had some strict rules. I'm really glad we were able to keep the IRL cams. I think everybody wants to see IRL cam footage in virtual reality boxing fights. I think that's just a given. So I'm glad you guys are able to give it. But like we decided to go with gentlemen's rules, right? So I'll start with you, Cam. Give me your just a quick wrap up on your philosophy on how to fight in these games, and then how are you going to proceed? You know, what's your fairness meter in this?
I would like to reply to Aura and pretty much say my philosophy is that, dude, I completely and totally respect that. If you go into the matchmaking on EOC, you'll see today that I went 7 minute rounds with a dude who he said he would leave if I hammer fisted. He's playing. He wants to play the game every day. We played Dragon Fist. He's got VFC too. But my philosophy on the game is I'm willing to play however anybody else wants me to play. Um, I know that if I know how to fight at all, that I can be spammer or exploiter, regardless of how many times they beat me first. I'm willing to fight anybody at any time, any place, anywhere, and Zenith knows that's true. Now, I will adjust my style and shit, I'll exploit and spam too if I have to. But as far as when somebody like Aura comes in, if he has tournaments to where you only punch with the knuckles, then I'll still join those tournaments and only punch with the knuckles. And if I'll play however I need to play to have a good time. It's not even that. It's not even important about winning. Joe Mama was kicking my ass the other day with the hand inside of my head. Don't get me wrong. I was talking a little bit of shit to him. But at the end of it, it's just like GG, dude. And my big problem with Zenith is like, dude, I will never admit to something that's not true, bro. Like I'm not saying that you fight exactly like I do. I take it to the next level. But the thing is, dude, is you whip and snap too. And that's just the fact, bro. That's just the fact. And
All right.
and I have absolutely no problem with Zenith at all whatsoever. I love him, look up to him. But at the same time, I'm not going to admit to something that's not true. And I play this game to have fun and to do stuff like this, have good events for the community and stuff. And I respect anybody, however anybody wants to play. But I'm not going to play some way while somebody else plays the way that they play. I'm going to adapt and I'm going to win.
Oh, adapt and win. I like that. Zenith, state squarely for the people here. What's your take? What's your philosophy? What's your stance on how to fight? And then what do you consider fair play?
So I got a big response between Cardio and Aura.
Absolutely.
So everyone in the community, they can see this and they'll know 100%. Whether they have a bigger space than me, however they fight, I will not say anything to you. Hey, fight how you fight. There is no professional boxers in here. There's no professional fighters. And this game just does not emulate how you fight in real life in the game. You look funny. When you throw a hook in game, it looks funny. So not one player can come out and say, Zenith is mad that I boundary bully, or Zenith is mad that no. I say, hey, fight how you fight, man. My tournaments alone is say, no one's a professional, fight how you fight. But the problem that I'm having with Cardio that he just doesn't seem to get is that when the whole community points out that he has this really crappy play style that unfortunately it is what it is, he gets extremely defensive and he'll start talking crap about how everybody else does it. And then the reason I have a bigger problem with it is he'll be like, I learned these moves from Zenith. Nowhere did I ever teach anyone to keep your hand as high as possible. This is his own personal clip, and to bring the hammers down with your palms up, smacking the person's top of the head. That is a footage that he has out there where he's teaching people, and he's trying to tell people that he learned it from me. Aura and I have been playing since day one, and if he says that that's what I do, man, I will uninstall this game. And I don't care how Cardio fights. I don't care. But don't get upset and mad when someone calls you out, and which is everybody, and says that's how you play. And
Who calls me out? Who calls me out?
He contradicted himself at the very end.
Who calls me out?
He says he
Blue
doesn't
Hatter?
care about winning. He doesn't care about.
Let Z cook. Let Z cook. You gotta let him finish. Go ahead, Z.
Okay.
He completely contradicted himself at the very end of his speech, saying that first he said, I don't care about winning, blah, blah, blah. But at the very end of what he just said, I will adjust because I'm going to win. See, I know what kind of person he is. I've met many people like him. He's a fake, bro. He's hypocritical. He's a fake. And with him agreeing to Aura, I don't care what the tournament, how you want. If Aura made a tournament like that, I'll join in. That's really weird, Supah, because in our DMs, I put the same rules, saying, hey, no phasing, no spamming, no palms up, hammer fisting. And those rules apply to me too. And can one of you guys remind me what happened in that chat? I, if I remember correctly, I think Cardio threw a complete tantrum and started crying that Zenith is taking away my offense. This isn't fair. And just started writing essays. So he's a hypocrite. He'll join Aura's tournament and fight the rules he placed, but I try to put those same rules that I will DQ me too if I go outside those rules. But poor Cardio here, in order to stop the crying and put the binky back in his mouth, I had to say, I rescind all boxing rules. You go ahead and fight
That's
how
not
you
what
fight.
happened at all.
Hey, it's in the chat. It's in the chat,
Go
Cardio.
pull up the chat where I said all I need you to do is post a video of what punches are legal and what punches are not.
There he goes again. There he goes again. Don't go off tangent. Let's stay on topic.
But that's serious. That's what I said. I never threatened to drop out of the fight or say anything.
We have
I told you to clarify.
We have the receipts.
The receipt.
You're doing what you always do, Cardio, is you're trying to change the topic. Let's stick to this.
I'm not changing the topic. That's what the whole DM
Cardio,
me going off in the DMs is about.
I will stop talking, and I will say you are right if you answer this one yes or no question.
Okay.
I put in these rules, and it's specifically stated: no phasing, no hammer fist, no palms up, striking down. And did you or did you not say that I feel like these rules are taking away my offense?
I said exact words. Why are a lot of these rules focused on mitigating my offense while not going against your defense?
So you won't join. You won't join Aura's tournament. You won't.
All right, now here's something I want to say. You guys have been having a lot of words. You guys have had a lot of words.
I gave you your binky. Rescinded all the rules, bro.
No, I never said I'm dropping out. I only said for you to post a video clarifying what you mean by legal and illegal punches, Zenith. I never drop out. I will never drop out. You were the one that threatened to drop out. When I asked you to post a video,
you need people to hold your hand to explain things for you. But it's really not that hard.
You were the one who threatened to drop out. You said,
"All right, everyone. Now I'm gonna interrupt for a second here." Because I think a lot of this is going to get solved. You know, we can fight by these rules, right? We can, have our gentleman's agreement. We're going to see.
I'll fight by whatever.
No, absolutely. Like I said, Solly, I've rescinded all the rules. You know what? Fight how you fight, Cardio. Because what I said back in February in our last fight, the only reason why I'm agreeing to this farce of a competition, because those players are more deserving of you, is the fact that the real win is to show both our webcam footage of how we fight. And it's just to prove that everything that you supposedly learned from me is just not true. So I don't even care if you win. Bro, do all your dirty tactics that you did to me to try and get wins. Phase through me. Go ahead. Try and punch the top of my head.
You know that's bullshit, bro. You know that's bullshit. I beat you legitimately, dude. It's like 3 or 4 times, man.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's what's going to show. That's what's going to show.
Listen, everyone.
We're going to post this up. We got the receipts. We're definitely going to see where the chips fall, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to put this up and edit. Solly, go ahead with the go ahead with the next question, bro.
Well, I'm gonna say, come fight night, we're definitely gonna see the who's right. We're gonna see everyone come fighting. We've had a lot of words thrown back to each other, but I actually want to throw it now. What message do each of you have to deliver to the developers of EOC or other fighting games, and also to the community and aspiring VR fighters? I'm gonna throw this to you, Zenith, and then you, Cam.
All right. So a message I have for the developers is nothing but appreciation to what they brought. Before VFC, before EOC, it was just Creed, and when I played Creed, it got to a point where I forgot who I told. I think I told Aura or maybe Solly, where I played the game every day still, but I lost every single match because I got tired of playing people like Cardio who used it and like sped around the ring like their Flash and just spammed like crazy. So I used it like how I like to use it as cardio. I'm going to work on my accuracy. I'm going to stun them. And if they're stunned, I'm not going to hit them. I'm going to back up and wait for them to come out of it. So for EOC, man, I'm thankful. I haven't touched Creed since EOC. VFC, awesome game, completely different play style, but still like nothing but appreciation for them and the hard work that they put in, because I have zero game development. I have no place to really complain. I mean, complain as a player, man, I really wish these updates would come out, but hey, they're working it.
Don't we all?
They're working it, and I appreciate everything that they do.
And before I go, and before I say my response, I have a question for you, Solly. How much do I spam in VFC? How much of a dirty fighter am I in VFC? I play VFC almost just as much if I can find a fight.
I mean, I would say pretty fair. I would say pretty fair. Now, to be fair, that game does allow a little bit of a different combo system, so it encourages some in some ways throwing more punches in shorter periods. But no, you play pretty fair. It's it's a match that I could say there is a gameplay response to it. You know, it's not just who throws the most punches. There's a bit of a mental competition going on as well there.
And and the thing is, dude, is I'm top 5 in that game too. You know, it's the thing is, bro, is I'm not this dirty fighter that you think I am, bro. The thing is it's mental gymnastics from you, because I'm the only one that can actually beat you.
I love the fact that what I've learned from Cardio is when you say these nice buzzwords and he likes it, he'll start throwing it back at you. Mental gymnastics, man, that's cute. But let me just tell
let me give you another
something.
One.
You jogged my memory. You jogged a good memory part of what you said, that you don't spam. Okay, I'll give you that, Cardio. When you fight other players and you're trying to say, I ask these players, I don't spam, it's dependent on who you fight is where you will escalate in order to win. I know you, Cardio. You say you don't care about winning, but you just pretty much lied at the very end of your long speech. When you fight these players, dependent on their skill level is what you will do. So if the player is not good, you won't pull out those tricks that you have. But when you face someone of higher level, what people like to say, like me, you will pull out those tricks. I know that's what you do. That's what you try and use as your defense. Ask this guy. I went 7 rounds with this guy who just installed the game. Congratulations. Any new player on EOC.
He's been playing the game for weeks, man.
Listen, I know what you're doing.
And he has Dragon
I know what you're doing, Cardio.
And he has VFC.
You want me to ask these new players, or these players that just aren't, are still learning, oh, I don't spam against. Of course you don't, because they're not up there yet. But when you face up players that have been playing since day one, it is what it is.
What, like Blue Hatter?
Like
Blue Hatter?
Blue Hatter hasn't been playing since day one.
Ooh,
Zenith,
all
here's
right.
the
Well,
deal.
look, Cam, let's keep it moving though, because we're gonna give you guys the final word here. But to Solly's question, what words do you have for the developers?
Thank you. I'm extremely grateful for the game. I hope that this can bring new eyes to the esport of VR boxing. And really just nothing, just like Xena said, an expression of gratitude, because of VR fighting, I'm probably in the best shape of my life. And, I have a tool that keeps my mind as sharp as it is, as it possibly can be, I guess you could say. And really nothing else but gratitude. Thanks.
Nice.
I hope that being able to watch us fight, being able to see some of the moves that we do can influence your development in a way to where the game is more aligned with your vision.
Nice. All right. And last but definitely not least, I know this is gonna as hard as it might be, let's try to keep it short and sweet. Any last words for your opponents? Now, Cam, I'm gonna give it to you first, and then Zenith, I'm gonna let you have the last word.
Look me in my eyes, Zenith. That whole little spiel you're doing this competition for to prove that I fight like some sort of way, you're just gonna look like an idiot. Because, dude, I do fight a lot like you. I learned almost every single thing I know. The only difference is that I take it to another level. That's the only difference, bro. And one more thing, man. I love you, dude. I look up to you a lot. The one of the things that irks me the most is that for some reason you just don't like me, man. And it is what it is, man. You can say I'm fake. You can win these. That really sucks because I do look up to you, man. I'm sorry if I've done anything wrong. I am gonna whoop that ass, but man, I hope that we can still emerge from this. Put our differences aside, and continue to play.
All right, Z, floor is yours.
So this coming fight, like I said, it's just to show how we both fight. Unfortunately, like once I released my footage of how I fight, and you could see the humongous difference between his IRL footage and mine. I know what he's doing. He's like, oh shit. Like I said, it's just to show how we both fight. Unfortunately, like once I released my footage of how I fight, and you could see the humongous difference. He's gonna need to fight that way in order to beat me, or I don't care. Like I said, I rescinded it, all the boxing rules. This little persona that he's putting up there, the reason why I don't like him is because, hey, bro, your own camp is sending me what you're saying about me. I'm just letting
I
you know.
don't
I'm not
have
going
a
to tell you
camp.
who.
I
Your
don't
own
have a
camp
camp,
in
bro.
this game. I'm telling
I
you,
don't
your
have a
boys that
camp.
you're friends with, that you talk. I'm trying to help you. Your own people are telling me what you're saying about me. This is why I say I live rent free in your head. So this little fake persona that I love you. I hope we get. Bro, this is why I don't get along with you. And
Zenith,
I
I
know
don't
the type of
say
person.
anything
I know the
about
type of
you
person
really
that
that
you
I
are.
won't say to your
This
face.
is
And I
why.
don't
This
have a
is why
camp. People can say whatever
you,
they want and send you whatever they want. It's bullshit. Like
okay,
I don't
sure.
say anything about you
They're just
behind
good
your
at
back that I wouldn't
Photoshop.
say to your face. Why? You're in Alaska, bro. Come on, dude. My camp,
Listen,
I don't have a camp.
even
Like,
even if they didn't, if they're lying, which they're not, um, the type of person that you
okay.
are with this fake phony shit that you got going on, like you go on my Facebook and stalk the photos and start asking me questions. Like this is how I
Yeah,
know I'm
then
rent
how
free
is
in your
that
head,
stalking your
cardio.
Facebook? Because I went to your
You look
Facebook
me
after you
up.
sent me your Cash
You
App name.
you you took the time
Like,
to
seriously.
look me up. This is why I say I'm rent free in your head. You tell your own
How
boys
is
that
that
you
being
think
rent
are your
free in your
boys,
head? I
and then
just
they
told you
come
I
and
love
tell
you,
me what
dude.
you're saying. Listen, in public, I
And
got it.
asked you
You can
about
say all
some
you want.
things you're interested in to try to have a
Listen,
conversation with you.
I'm trying to help
Because
you,
you talk
cardio.
because you
You
hate
need
me.
you need to talk to the people that you play with in these games. You need to be careful what you say, because it's not staying between you two.
I don't have to talk to him.
Uh,
I don't care.
Okay.
But sorry, I
Oh,
won't
All
say
right.
anything.
I'm just trying
I'll
to
let
help
you
you.
talk. I'm sorry.
all
But
right,
Yeah, I
we'll be
mean,
fighting this Saturday, and it is what it is. And then after that, we can fight all we want. Like I said, the only time we will ever fight is on webcam. Unfortunately, it's not going to come out the way I predicted it was going to come out, because we already got that footage out there of how you fight and how I fight, and now you got to change it up real quick in order not to do what you usually do. But then
I'm
after
not
that,
going
hey
to
man,
change anything.
we can
I don't
fight every
have to
single day.
change anything.
Okay.
all right. Well, I
We'll
think
see.
the fight footage is going to speak for itself. I'm going to say the thing is time to stop throwing them fighting words and start actually throwing some fighting fists. Yeah, as we all agree, sometimes we're having some fun here, but sometimes the people don't talking too much is not actually just showing up what they need to do. So hopefully we get this message across. Anyway, I'm gonna say give it to everyone else for their final words just to sign off. But this has been, and anything you want to plug, anything like that. But big thank you to everyone who's coming out here today.
Hey, I appreciate you, Aura, Solly, and Superman. I love this stuff.
Absolutely.
This is cool.
Yeah, I appreciate both of y'all coming through. Aura's coming through as well. I've always wanted to collab with all of you guys here. So it's good to see the community members having a lot of passion. And I said it in the beginning of our chat. That's the one thing I appreciate about this fight coming up, as opposed to a lot of our other cards. All the stuff that we're talking about here today, this is what you talk about in a brand new community. You know what I mean? Like, we are here being pioneers of the rules, pioneers of the styles. And I'm pretty sure, ladies and gentlemen in the chat who are listening to this, you guys are going to have your own opinions. So I want you guys to do me a favor, and in the comments below, answer me this. What side do you play on, right? Are you a simulation purist? Do you strive to pull out the best in boxing and boxing techniques as they are traditionally, and practice with them in this arena? Or do you approach it more of a gamer where you say, emergent gameplay is meant to be explored and to be pushed? I want to hear from you guys in the chat. And with that being said, all the links to everyone's Discords, YouTube channels, tournaments are going to be in the description. We got a lot of folks who are active in the community of virtual reality boxing and combat sports as it emerges. So we want to give everybody their shine, and definitely thank you guys for coming out today. We're going to make sure that this fight is one to remember, whichever way it goes. And with that being said, I'm going to sign off for the fellas here at Ringside VR. If you like what you see, drop it in the comments, share it with your friends, and who knows, we might fight you in the comments as well. But until then, we'll see you guys at Fight Night here on Ringside VR.